All right, guys. Today I want to talk about our national debt and the record amount of spending that the US is currently doing. And listen, this shouldn't be political. This should be a bipartisan effort or concern that all of us should be aware of because this impacts all of us. So I just want to show you two quick charts so you can kind of get a grasp of what is currently going on with the amount of debt we carry and how much spending. So here's our national debt over the last 100 years. In 1924, we were at 395 billion. Now, when we fast forward 100 years later, we are at a staggering 36 trillion with a T. But let's just look at the last 20 years so you can kind of put this in perspective. In 2004, we were sitting around 12 trillion. In just 20 years, we have tripled that to 36 trillion. So just let that sink in for a second. So I also want to show you our debt to GDP, our debt to gross domestic product, which GDP is a measure of our total economic output. So you can see right here that we're currently sitting at 123%. So that means we are taking on $123 for every $100 that we actually produce. So we're obviously not even breaking even when it comes to this. And if you look back at this graph, I mean, the highest we were in 1948 was 96%. Now that's high, but it's still under 100, which is where you need to be. We were on a nice downward trend. We've seen, a couple little peaks and troughs here, but ever since about 2007, we have been going up. And COVID, we hit a high of 126, but we're just below that at 123% right now. So, look, if those numbers scare you, they should. I mean, we have a spending problem right now in this country. And I don't know about you, but I get a little excited when I see people like Elon Musk that are really taking this to heart and have offered up their services to try to get this under control because we desperately need it. And look, here's the thing about it, because the US will have to continue to borrow and print money to pay for the amount of debt that we're taking on. But one thing I don't think people realize, and I just want to put this in perspective as well, when you continue to print money, it automatically devalues your dollar, right? Now it's going to take more dollars to buy goods and services. And we all see this, right? We see it at the grocery store. We see it when you're buying real estate, pretty much in every aspect of life. But here's the thing why it's a little sneaky. If you were sitting with $100,000 in your bank account, and let's say overnight, all of the banks just went in and took out 10,000, right? You woke up the next morning and you had 90,000 sitting in your account. What do you think would happen across the US? There would be chaos. There would be outrage. People would be in the streets. They'd be lining up at their bank's doors and demanding their money back. Well, obviously, the US cannot do that, right? We can't just take 10,000 from every American to pay our debt or continue to borrow more. But what they can do is just print more money. By printing more money, it just devalued that 100,000 you have sitting in your account. But when you do it slowly and over time, you don't really see it or question it, but that's in essence what they're doing. They're taking money out of your bank account when they print and borrow more money. So listen, I don't put this out there to scare anyone, but I put this out there for awareness. Think about how you run your family. If you're sitting down going over a budget or going over finances and you realize that you're spending more than what you're bringing in, would you just continue to spend or would you make cuts? Would you balance your personal family budget? That's what we have to do as a country. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a great rest of your day.